Sam Heughan&Outlander, The Adventures. The cast of Blood of My Blood introduced Scotland to Hollywood, inside the prequel's introduction. The original series star joined the spin-off newcomers to the cheers of spirited fans. The streets of West Hollywood were transformed into Scotland on Monday as Starz rolled out the blue carpet for the premiere of the Outlander prequel series, Blood of My Blood. A bagpipe processional greeted guests, media, and eager fans, before any actors began arriving. Soon enough, the Outlander universe's newest stars showed up brandishing Sharpies, which they used to autograph Blood of My Blood branded tote bags that the Starz team handed out. The majority of the prequel's cast are Hollywood newbies, but that didn't stop the Outlander faithful from snapping selfies and gushing about how excited they were to fall in love with their characters. Jamie Fraser himself, Sam Heughan, hit the carpet to deafening cheers. He waved and winked to fans and slipped into some group photos. The frenzy amid onlookers didn't calm until the Outlander leading man scooted inside for the screening of the prequel's first episode. The Blood of My Blood cast is taking their newfound fame in stride. Sam Retford, who plays rough wannabe leader Dougal MacKenzie, found himself in awe at San Diego Comic-Con, where the show had one of the weekend's buzziest panels. "It was unbelievably overwhelming," he told Gold Derby on the carpet. "I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I was swanning around kind of getting distracted by the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff. And then I realized that I was going to be stepping on the stage and having to talk, and I hadn't really thought that much about what I was going to say. It felt incredible. I've been saying tonight that my inner child is just like, well done, buddy. You've done it." Retford was pranked at Comic-Con by original series star Graham McTavish, who played the older version of Dougal and approached the fan podium to grill Retford about his upcoming portrayal of their shared character. "I realized quite early on that Graham is, when you meet him, an absolute gentleman and a complete gentle giant," Retford shared. "After a wine or two, we got to know each other, and we share a lot of the same humor, so Mr. Graham, thank you very much for passing the sword." McTavish, who was also on hand for the prequel's premiere, had been cooking up the surprise appearance for a while. "That was actually about 2 weeks' worth of planning," he told us. "We managed to keep it completely secret. None of them had any idea, and it was wonderful to go on and see Sam get completely tongue-tied. He just didn't know what to say. It was delicious, actually." As a veteran cast member of Outlander, McTavish's advice for the new blood was simple. "I think they need to prepare themselves for the fact that there is not going to be a day that goes by in the future where somebody doesn't come to them and speak about Outlander," he said. "There's not a day that goes by that I'm not touched in some way by that show. It's every day, wherever I am in the world. Outlander is part of my life, and I'm very grateful." The prequel series has new romantic leads in Jeremy Irons and Hermione Corfield, who play Claire's parents, Henry and Julia, and Jamie Roy and Harriet Slater, who portray Jamie Fraser's parents, Brian and Ellen. Roy, in particular, felt a certain pride in getting to take on such huge responsibility while filming in his hometown of Glasgow. "It really meant a lot to me to show the cast a good time, make them feel safe and make them feel welcome," he told us. "I think everyone has really enjoyed Glasgow, and we spent 7 months at least filming, so I'd like to think people call it a second home." Slater, meanwhile, came away from filming feeling more connected to her character than ever. "I think the show has taught me that I have a lot more in common with Ellen McKenzie than I thought I did at the beginning of the job," she said. "I started off thinking we were quite different people, and I admired her in many ways, but I think I've realized that I have a little bit more of her in me than I thought. Or maybe we're merging into one at this point, I don't know." The cast bonded during the shoot, as was evidenced by the amount of red carpet interviews that got interrupted by pinches on the butt, messy cheek kisses, and enormous hugs. Rory Alexander, who plays young Murtaugh in the prequel, admitted to occasionally getting reprimanded for having way too much fun while filming. "We are so lucky to work on something where we actually want to spend time together and have such a giggle," he shared. Sometimes that does lead to 2 days of standing in a field giggling, with the director saying, "Please, can we just try and get this shot?" I think it comes through in the show. Actually, I think it comes through in the show when it shouldn't. I see Connor McNeil, who plays Ned in the series, and our characters haven't met, and I just give him a massive smile. The director was like, "No, you guys don't know each other." But in real life, I'm like, "Hey, my man. Great to see you." It crosses over. There was even a massive game of on-set traitors, according to the cast. McNeil swears he was a faithful and guessed who the traitor was early on. "I was doing the catching," he said before pointing at Retford mid-interview beside him. "He might have been the guy, and I knew but no one would trust me." Seamus McLean, who plays Ellen and Dougal's brother Colm, also claims to have been aware of the true culprit the whole time. "I knew all along," he stressed to us. I looked into his eyes, folks, and there was a wee kind of cheeky glint. I knew he was a traitor. They were putting funny little objects, which I won't say what they were as they were quite rude, but they were putting them around the trailers, and there was a full investigation into who was doing it. I knew all along it was Sam. Of course, my brother, I know him. After the raucous carpet concluded, the cast and fans were ushered inside to feast upon the highly anticipated first episode of Blood of My Blood. While we can't say too much, several scenes elicited gasps, and each new character reveal earned a cheer. One particularly shocking bit of dialogue caused the audience to break out into frenzied laughter, which the cast, seated in a few rows together, joined in on. Everyone was in good spirits at the after-party down the street, where McLean and Alexander tried to lead guests in sing-alongs of Oasis hit Wonderwall, and the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony. Like your average 20-somethings with themed cocktails in hand. Heughan cut a cool figure towards the back of one of Bar Marmot's many rooms, where he greeted cast members and admirers alike throughout the evening,